I've been wanting to do a short review of my Disney Mexico cruise. It was a 5 night Ensenada, Cabo, San Lucas Disney cruise. So it's trying to make it short. I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons of the cruise. Number one, it's Disney themed cruise, so you get to enjoy all the little details that come with the Disney themed cruise. So there's plenty of Disney eye candy. The second thing that's cool about the cruise is the restaurant and dinner service is really awesome. One example of that is you might be busy trying to eat and you have your kids next to you. The server will cut your kids' steak and even feed it to them. So that's really nice. A very exceptional service. Another thing is daycare. So while you're on the cruise, you can drop your kids off to the Oceaneers Club and then spend a relaxing time with just the parents. And there's plenty of stuff to do at the Oceaneers Club, and it has some games as well as some video games. The next thing that's pretty cool about the Disney cruise is there's a 24-hour room service. So one thing you'll probably get is Mickey Ears ice cream, and they have really good triangle hash browns. So you can get that anytime you want, which is cool. And then highlight of the cruises are the evening shows at the theater. Try to schedule time to do that. Arrive a little early, like 20 30 minutes early, so you can get a decent seat. I think they have a mask policy, and so you can sit. It's going to be full capacity probably, or near full capacity. Last thing is when we booked our reservation, the room we had didn't have like a balcony, but we got upgraded, and that was nice, just so you could go outside and watch this ship sail and sit down on some seats and watch the view. Now I'm going to go to the negatives, which there are quite a lot. And some of them pertain to the COVID restrictions. Number one is there weren't enough activities for adults and kids. You, as we're walking by, there's plenty of times where we met with some people, and they just say like, what can we do? There's not enough activities. They had stuff like bingo, or little contests where you like game show contests, and even activities for the kids, but it wasn't like something really crazy. It was just really basic stuff. For the kids, the biggest activity on the ship that they did was probably make some goo from scratch using glue. And an example of the activity not being that great is we went to do the origami, and the most complicated thing they were doing was like a ship and a frog, like stuff that you probably done before, like a crane possibly. They didn't do any like Disney themed origami. The next con that I would say is just the quality of the food. It's great you can get food anytime you want, and you can get pizza or hamburgers, but outside of that, I would say the food is actually not that great. I had a steak dinner, and it was using the same steak meat that was used in the steak sandwich, so it was like really thin, and it was chewy, and so it's just other things about eating there, like one thing was the pancakes that I ate over there. The pancakes were just, I don't know, they just didn't taste right to me, so I didn't eat my pancakes, and I've never really experienced something like that. I mean, how do you mess up pancakes? Another thing was I went upstairs to where they have the buffet, and they have like salads. There's a place where you can get salads and rice and noodles. I got some soup noodles, and that was really not that great because the soup itself was like room lukewarm temperature or whatever, or slightly warm. So like the food, I I'm always surprised when I hear people who rave about Disney food. I mean, I guess people maybe don't go out or something. But yeah, on the Disney cruise, this was the Disney Wonder. It was just like, yeah, you see my text over here. I thought Carnival was better than Disney cruise, so that's my comparison. The next thing that was a con was in the rooms. They had access to TV shows and movies, but they didn't have any access to Disney Plus. So you're kind of stuck with really old. They had some newer stuff, but old TV shows and movies, and it's the interacting with the user interface on the TV remote was really slow and not easy to use. Unlike even Disney Plus isn't that great, but it's a lot faster than using what's available on the cruise. So we rarely watch TV, and I guess you shouldn't watch TV when you're on a cruise, but my kids do, when we want to take breaks. And going on a Disney cruise, the next thing is you want to take a lot of pictures with, the Disney cast members. My biggest gripe would probably be number 4, and it's trying to get pictures with Disney cast members you want to take. My kids are big Spider-Man fans, so we were always asking like, "Oh, when's Spider-Man gonna come? When's Spider-Man gonna come?" And they'd just go like, "Oh, we don't know yet. We only know who's going to be coming out next, or that hour." So it's a little annoying that we couldn't find out. There's always like Minnie and Mickey or whatever, but I just thought it'd be better organized in terms of finding out who would be the cast member to show up, so we could take a photo instead of just always coming back. We would always come back like after an hour and ask, who's going to show up here? Like they didn't even have like an organized list for the day, so that was kind of annoying. And because of COVID restrictions, you have to take photos like a feet or two away. You'll notice in some pictures, if I have it in the video after this, like you have to stand away from the cast member and take a picture. So it's a little strange, because I've actually gone on a Disney cruise 10 years ago, and it was just, because there wasn't COVID, you're just taking a normal photo with Disney cast members. And so another thing is when you're eating, during meals, they used to have Disney cast members come by, but not anymore. So that's kind of a con also. So that, the whole point of doing these type of Disney events is you can kind of interact and be close to and take pictures with cast members, but on the Disney cruise, you don't really feel that. So the next thing is the Buena Vista Theater, where they show some movies. There's no mask requirement, so this will probably change, but there was seating every other row. In terms of the number of movies, they're only showing 3 or 4 movies: Turning Red, Frozen 2, Encanto, and some other movies. So the limited number of movies, as well as there weren't any snacks at the movie theater, so you just sit there and watch. It's not as comfortable as being able to eat at your room and watch a movie, I guess, because I'd rather be able to snack and be comfortable. So I thought that was a little disappointing, having a theater that you can't eat popcorn. The next thing that was a problem for us was because some of our children are really young, 1 and 3 years old, they couldn't get vaccinated, and because of that, we weren't allowed to leave the ship when it was docked, unless we paid for an excursion, which, we already paid for the cruise, so I kind of felt like we should be able to leave and come back, but they wouldn't let us do that. Another thing was, again, this goes back to COVID restrictions. If you have a kid that can't be vaccinated, when you take them to the Oceaneers Club, they actually separate from kids who are already vaccinated. So it was very strange. I have 2 kids that were vaccinated, and they couldn't play with my kid that was not vaccinated. So it's kind of sad too. We didn't think that was fair, but it's not like we're going to complain about it. And then what's it called? When you actually board the ship, usually you have like a welcome party. That's what I noticed 10 years ago when we did the Disney cruise. But when we walked in, all they have is you walk in and you take a photo with like Mickey and Minnie, and they say your name, and that's it. There's no big welcome party. Another thing is, one night they had fireworks, and I mean they were telling us go out, go check out the fireworks, but the fireworks lasted like 5 minutes, and there was no outside event, no party event, so that was kind of disappointing. Big thing for me, because we have kids and they're not too old, they can't use the like more adult pool, they have to use the kids pool. They actually had a line for the kids pool, and only a certain amount of kids could get into the pool. So they would get into the pool, and then they have to come out once their time limit was there, and then they have to wait in the cold, and wait their turn to come back into the pool. I thought it's kind of weird and strange, and so it was unfortunate. My kids wanted to do the kiddie pool, but it's like they were really cold. Another thing is, if you do, what's it called? Order popcorn. It's not fresh popcorn. They don't have any fresh popcorn. You get like pre-made popcorn. So that's it. There's some more stuff I can think of off the top of my head. I can't think of it on the top of my head, but there's some more stuff, but I didn't list. These are most of the ones that I could think of. So finally, is it worth it to do a Disney cruise? I paid $6,000, and this was through Costco, and for a family of six, we got 2 rooms. So roughly $1,000 per person for 5 nights. In terms of like that number of activities and the quality of the food, I felt that it was subpar. And so I put this caveat: if you're a Disney fan, you probably should go. You'll enjoy it regardless of what I say. But I feel like I'm more unbiased, and I didn't feel like I got a real great bang for my buck. Even though my kids did enjoy it. I mean, I think they enjoyed it, so I guess that's all that matters. I would suggest waiting until COVID restrictions are gone or they get lessened. It'll just make the trip more enjoyable in terms of meeting cast members or doing things like sending your kids to the, what do you call it, daycare or something. And so that's it. My last thing was I was going to talk about Disneyland food because there's hardcore Disney fans, and I'm always surprised when they say like how great the food is at Disneyland, and I just like a Disneyland chimichanga, or let's say Disneyland popcorn is just normal to me. I mean, the churro is pretty good, but outside of that, if you get like a burger or pizza, it tastes like frozen pizza or burger that was reheated. So anyways, that's just it. That's my review, and I'll show you some of the clips of what I did while I was on there. Have a good day. Let's go, guys. There's a line there. Some people slide down. Let's go, woman. Dexter, go out to see Spider-Man. Dexter. You can give him a little. Thank you so much. Yours looks good. I'll take it. Only saying hi because I have a baby. But say hi. Biscuits. Say hi. Good morning. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
You have a breakfast already? Yeah. Nice to see you, man.
This. You get drinks here.